It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, everybody from around the world. Happy Empowerment Tuesday. This is Samson Li coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Hope everybody's having a great day or great morning if you're just getting started. Welcome. Today, Kim's had a day off, so I'll be talking today. Anyway, I mean, we've been working hard around the world, and 3 is an amazing platform with, most importantly, amazing people. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you, because success, number one, is showing up. So you are here. So today, I want to share some information. I think it's very important. And where it comes from is that as I meet people from around the world, I noticed that just like me many years ago, when I first got into the industry, don't know what to do. And part of it is we haven't, especially new people, we haven't quite caught onto the vision. And also the way we look at the business, our mindset, our perspective, not quite like the pros yet. Many years ago, I was there. And also, aside from that, we don't know what to expect and how to go about it. I mean, it seems that once you jump into the business, there's so much to learn. There's so much information. So how to filter it through? Well, Kim has, in her last 3 to 4 trainings, has done a fantastic job about parsing it into little nuggets for you. So last time she talked about the different types of activities that you have in the business. So of course, the first type is learn. And in a way, again, you have to unlearn to relearn, okay? I know many of you may be very successful at what you do in your job or your business, but even to go from one top of the mountain to the other, you still have to go down to the valley and back up. So there's always a learning curve, whatever that is. If you never had much success in this industry, well, that's sometimes what it takes. And the other thing is, learning, you get better. And when you get better, you grow. And that's kind of how it is. And so just be open. I mean, I'm learning all the time from different people, different leaders, different kinds of people all over the world, not only where I am in Los Angeles, but obviously on Zoom and working with other leaders throughout the US, Canada, and all throughout Asia. There's so much. And this industry is so fantastic. Now, second type of activities aside from learning is building. building your business, the actual things that many of you ask, how do I do it? The how to. So you actually have to build it. You have to put things into motion, into action. And what are those actions, right? And the third thing is once you start building yourself and your team, you want to support them and lead them so that, if you are successful, teach them what you do. Okay, that's also called duplication. If you're not quite there yet, like I was many years ago, I just did what successful people do. Whatever Kim did, I did. Whatever she said, I said. I just try to model what she does. And actually, modeling is one of the fastest way to learn the business, to build a business. But of course, here you don't only learn, if you put some action behind it, you make money at the same time. Then that's what makes this business a fantastic business, right? So let's talk about the mindset uh, at first. Um, I know maybe most of you have not traveled with us or built an international business before. Maybe some of you have. Well, many years ago, I take myself back then because so we can, relate and connect, right? So many years ago, when I first got into the industry, I saw Kim build a business in more than 190 countries. It just blew my mind. And that trend about e-commerce, but more than e-commerce, now we can define it as cross-border, as international e-commerce, right? And we can get a piece of it, right? So at that time, I just got out of furniture business. I lost everything, got into the auction business. I was an auctioneer, trying to learn that craft. And like most people, I went to the auction, go to work, I make money. When I don't work, I make no money. So I rely my living on getting jobs, being an auctioneer working in that industry. But I didn't see the vision of what Kim was doing back then. I mean, just a couple of years time, she had a group of more than 240,000 people all over the world. It just like it blew my mind. The number just blew my mind. It's like, how is that possible? Because I'm still trying to talk to one person at a time. How do you have time to talk to 240,000? But the thing is, you don't have to. So that's how this industry works. So, um, and look, as we get into the business, we saw something here. Maybe we saw the type of people we heard some stories of different people with different background, what they've done before, what they're doing now, and how they're thriving in three. And we get inspired. We see hope. Maybe it's something that we can do, but how much can we do? How much can we make? Right? And how can we, through this platform, through this business, through this community, how are we able to achieve our dreams? To maybe we have some issues when we get over, like paying for that 20 to 40% inflation the last 3 years, to try to actually stay afloat or maybe to get ahead, right? So it is about vision and your perspective of how you see this business. And these are the things that you have to consider before you open your mouth. Because, yeah, exactly, right? So what do you say when you get into the business? That's the question. And I see that over and over and over again. When I look back when I was, yeah, I wasn't sure what I should say. All I knew was, look, for me personally, I was a business person. I used to have many businesses, real estate and furniture business, and I had lost everything. I was in the auction business. Yeah, top for a living, but just numbers, right? But what did I say? How do I tell other people about this business? Right? Of course, the products, they're fantastic. Um, but to grow the business, we need people to work the opportunity with us. And why is that? So today I want to share a perspective that I've been sharing with many people in Southern California and other parts of the world. That makes a little bit more sense because it's a little bit more relatable. Look, the company is the platform. They have, and through Dr. Dan, we have fantastic product, technology, all the documentation. I've never seen a company like this. Being 20 years in this industry, I've never seen documentation like this. And I'm sure Dr. Dan is working on much more to support, to show people what we have and the benefit that they can get out of it. And so we have fantastic products. Now, for me personally, yes, number one, we can get benefit physically for us and our family through the product. And definitely I can share with some close friends and family, right? And they can buy the product and get the same benefit, right? But you know what though? The second part is, well, how do I build the business? How do I grow like so many successful leaders out there? I had no idea back then. So what I saw was here. So I try to relate it. I try to put it together in my head. What am I doing? What is it? What am I really doing? How can I grow my business? So one very clear perspective that I came out with was imagine that, look, most of us are very familiar with the real estate business, okay? And in real estate, if it's residential, for example, you have a broker open the office. So if me and you were the broker, yes, we can sell houses for a living, right? Now, but the question is, when we open a brand new real estate business, should we go out and try to sell houses ourselves? Yes, we should do that. But at the same time, we have an option to hire agents, right? And real estate agents, they work commission only. And we can hire agents, they can come work through our office, maybe 10, 20, 100, maybe a few hundred. And they know people that we don't know. And what if we can override a percentage of the sale as commission for ourselves, right? So yeah, you can go ahead and market and sell the products yourself, but at the same time, through the compensation plan of three, we get paid to build sales volume through teams, through other people that we introduce to. Ah, when I say that, look, because look, people know people that we don't know. And for sure, we leverage their time. And if they have production, buying or selling the product or using anytime they buy or sell the product, we can get paid. We get points or we can have a matching bonus, etc. Oh, you know what? A lot of people get that because they're familiar with that process. So that's the perspective. So yes, well, how big of a business do you want? If it's a business that you don't need a physical store, but rather it's already in 15 countries and territories. Yeah, that's a potential. So look, we're never gonna, I mean, look, there's no income claim anyway in shape or form, but think about the potential. If it's like an online store and you're the top person and you're gonna build your own organization and anything that you do, they do, you can make money from. Simple as that. That's the compensation that we have. So so we try to catch the two biggest trends out there, right? So one is health, especially after COVID, right? And second is the cross-border e-commerce aspect, right? So I think all of you understand the cross-border means international e-commerce. But of course, the advantage is through three, this platform, three, the company takes care of all the traditional headaches, such as customer service, admin, shipping, inventory. So you pretty much have no overhead almost, right? But look, to stay active, buy 60 points of product. But trust me, people in three, they buy way more than 60 points because they love more than one product. Okay. Um, so in a way, I think that is a very good way to look at the kind of business we have. Now, when we talk about vision, of course, like I mentioned earlier, maybe many of you have not traveled internationally with us to build this gigantic business. Okay, I understand. I totally understand. Because I was there before many years ago as I watched Kim travel. And I don't know if she does overseas. And maybe when we have, conventions, and I go with her and people bring people and I never bring anybody or maybe just a couple of people. I didn't see it with my eyes. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. Nowadays, we're all connected. It's online and much more. And especially after pandemic, people are hungry for connection. We are not divided like the media tells us. We're actually very connected, very similar. And the question is just the information. Who doesn't want to have a good life? Who doesn't want to have money? Who doesn't, want, because who doesn't want to take care of the family? Everybody does, right? Who doesn't want to travel? People love traveling, right? But the question is, well, yeah, society has conditioned us in a system. Yes, get educated, get a good job, and you're set, right? 2 weeks to 3 weeks vacation a year, but you're expected to work the other 49 weeks. Okay, so that's life, c'est la vie, right? But here we have an opportunity, and that's why I've always been a business owner, because I see that, you know what, life, and my own philosophy is life is what you create it to be. And that's very important. So going back to the mindset. Now, if you look at it the way we look at it, well, it potentially can be a massive business. Now, the question is then, I go back to, what do you say? What do I say? When I get started, what do I say? Well, here's the thing. What I found is that um, people don't know how to tell the story of three. Remember, in marketing, you probably heard it before. Facts tell, story sells. Because through stories, we can get many, how should I say, we get a chance to communicate the ideas of what we're doing on a multi-level basis, on the superficial level, but on a deeper level, emotional level, mental level, maybe a spiritual level. And so it's multi-dimensional. Stories are multi-dimensional. That's why people are impacted. Okay. That's why they get it through stories, not facts. Okay. So like any story about you having result on the product is better than reading the label, what's in it. You understand, right? Because it's that connection. So I find that a lot of people, they don't know how to tell the story of three. And that is a big disadvantage. So for me now, I'm going to tell it from my perspective. But I believe each of you can also tell it from the same perspective. So let me just share with you a little bit. Look, three has been an amazing journey for me and Kim and many other people. And many of you heard before that a group of us came together and decided to find somebody to open a new company for us, all $1 million earners in the industry, or like Kim, nine-figure earner, right? Well, that's what makes this company different. This is not a company where they have a product, they look for people to move it. No, we are totally different. We are people of purpose. Why? Because most of us, actually, to be honest, I was kind of semi-retired in my last business already. And Kim was like, yeah, exactly the same. And there's quite a few others. But to be just sit around, do nothing, it'll be shame on us, because if we have the gift, if we have the track record, we should continue to contribute, to give hope to people, to give hope to entrepreneurs, to pass down the knowledge of experience, what we've done. So we came together and decided to, we need to look for somebody to open this company. And I would tell you, I remember sitting, in Utah with Daniel, Mike McCormick, Linda was busy traveling the world at that time, Lance and Tracy Kim, and we're just talking. We're just talking about doing something together. Nothing yet, no name, no product line, no compensation plan, nothing. That's how this company started, just by talking. So just with a few people. So imagine what you can create with just a few people coming together. This is how this company started. So this is a story. Well, you know what? Daniel agreed. He had big balls. Just jump in with us to build a multi-billion-dollar company. This is our vision, because through that is not about the number of how many billions, but rather the impact that we can make. And all of you know, some of you know Daniel very well, some of you know Kim very well, but together, the vision coming together is why we are here. We are serious about it. I hope that all of you are serious also. Number one, for yourself. Number two, with us, with the three. This is the vision. This is a story that people need to tell, because a lot of times they just don't even know where to start, because maybe most people, they get started, they're not even sure about their own story. Why are they doing it? But it is something to really grab on to this vision and run with it, and how it aligns with your story. So that's why this book is very important. This book, the Wow Book, and whatever digital version that it's out there, it helps you step by step. It's your homework to create your story, your why, your reasons. That's your business plan. And then you set goals within the first 6 months, and then make a list of the people that you can contact. Like I said, remember the real estate analogy? You have a broker who opens an office, and you need to find more agents to do it together. So this is pretty much the same, except it's even better, because you don't need a license, it's global. Anybody can be a brand ambassador for three. So this very simple analogy and the way it is, you need to, know the vision, know the story of three. What makes it different? Because many of us has built a skyscraper before. Is it easier the second time? Well, I don't know about easier, but we definitely know a little bit more than what we did the first time. Let's just put it that way. Because very few companies that are startups have such experience in their leadership. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. And we are a very unique group. And that's what makes this very different. And that's how when I start my presentation, when I tell the story, I show Kim's 2-minute story first to show who she, so I edify Kim and tell about her history, her success, and what she's done, somebody with a big heart, truly. And now, come out of retirement to build it just one more time, to build this future billion-dollar project. I'm so happy, for example, in Indonesia, they every meeting they say, they talk to people, they call this the billion-dollar project. Well, if you're going to talk a billion-dollar project, then you wouldn't know what to say, because you know what? A billion-dollar project is not something you can just text somebody about. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a couple of video can explain for you, but rather a true connection where you need to get on the phone or on Zoom or video, some FaceTime, whatever, to talk about what three is, right? So now let me keep moving on, okay? So now you think about, yeah, you know what? I need to communicate this effectively, this this future billion-dollar company, billion-dollar project. How can I communicate it effectively? Yeah, well, of course, it comes to mind that, well, I haven't made money yet. What do I do? How can I do it? Let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you make money yet or not, or how little you have made. It doesn't matter. Any business, it starts with a few people, with a simple idea, with a vision. All business like that. So have you made money yet? You know what? Not yet, because I just started. Have you made money? Yes. Yes, I have made money. I'm building my business now. I haven't made a lot yet, but you know what? I made money. I'm getting paid. Many times when people ask you that, they just want to know that, yeah, you're earning something rather than nothing, right? Is it legit, right? Is it real? What's in it for me? Can I do it, right? So from there, with this, you start building your list, okay? Some of you are doing like 100, right? A list of 100. And this book has the memory joggers, and at the beginning, your top 10 list is very important. Top 10 people who are spirited people. They have something about them. They have life about them. Top 10 people who are purposeful. They do things with purpose. They're on a mission in whatever they do. Maybe top 10 people that are achievers, achievement driven. They are go-getters. They're hustlers. Or maybe top 10 people who are resourceful. Like whatever problem, they can solve it. They always know somebody, or they always find a way. Resourceful people. And also what? Top 10 people that are kind. It could be just like that. I want to tell you one story because, excuse me. I want to tell you a story because sometimes it can be as simple as you go through your list as finding people that trust you. Now, it's funny because I was in Hong Kong, and for those of you who are in Hong Kong, you heard it on stage. We have a couple of gentlemen, Stephen, Brian, and Ariga from Indonesia. They were sharing their business testimonial on how their group achieved success. I mean, within just a short 6 months, 7,000 people came into that group. Mind blowing. Yeah, exactly. How fast do you have to talk? And let me tell you, Ariga definitely talk very fast. Okay. And look, they team up together to build a business. Stephen knows a lot of people, has a great network, and Riga very focused and driven. They have never had any success in this industry before. Just like they maybe just dabble and made some hobby money. That's it. And they thought, because of their leader, Ibu Jenny, got them into the business, and she's a very well-to-do lady with a big heart, with a big vision, want to help people, period. I mean, she's super well off already. And they just thought, oh, maybe we need to do it different this time. And they want to keep it very simple. Okay. As simple as Enrique on station. Let me just tell you the way it is. Okay. Is that, you know what? He just told his team, his leaders, can you bring me two people that trust you? Can be that simple, that are close. A lot of people in this industry say, oh, let me go talk to strangers because they're afraid to talk to people about this business. It's actually the other way around. Find people who trust you, they love you, and that support you. Okay. So it could be family and friends. Look, if I was going to sit down with one of my best friends, I'd say, hey, you know what? I'm starting something new. Hey, look, I need some help. Maybe, hey, you have time, maybe we can talk a little bit and you can give me some ideas, or maybe it's something we can do together. Is that simple? Right? Don't say too much because you cannot explain $1 billion business from a text or phone call. You got that? Okay. So I always do warm market. I never do cold market, almost never. Okay. So that's what I would do. I would keep it so simple because you got to know. I know many of you are very excited, right? Yeah, I got to go through that 100 people. But first you got to put the top people at the top, the people that trust you, love you, and support you at the very top of each of those top 10 lists. Okay. You got to put the people at the top and then you got to go work it. Make it that list. Yes. It seems like, oh, it's a lot of work putting the names together. Let me tell you, it'll solve you a lot of headache, a lot, it would prevent you from wasting time. If you can just go from one name to another name, to another name, to another name, just sitting there calling or texting or getting in touch, connecting. Texting is not connecting, by the way. Connecting, you got to connect on many levels, like, on a human level, okay, not just computer level, because AI can text now. It's not personal. All right. So they don't know how you're feeling. They don't hear the tone. Yeah, can you really tell tone from the text? Only if they put it in all caps, right? I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying. So really connect with people who trust you, love you, and support you to work that list. You have to work it. So, but here's the thing. You might not know, well, how to open my mouth and all that. Well, how do I talk to my friend? I suggest, besides prioritizing, working it, like, getting in touch, but get coach on. Number three is get coached on it. I would do that every time anyway. Even if, hey, you know what? I will, the shortcut, let me tell you, the shortcut to this business is ask for help. Don't let your ego get in the way. I'm serious. Let me tell you, many years ago, when I lost everything, I was searching for, what I'm going to do with my life. I had a chance to, even I was in some debt, furniture business, but what am I going to do? Yeah, I can make a living as an auctioneer. It seems pretty exciting or simple, and I don't have to take the work home. But what am I really going to do? I was in my mid-30s at that time. So, well, the thing is, I went to one of these classes, and I say this very from my heart. Let's just do it that way. I want to say something to all of you out there from my heart, and it's something that when I heard the gentleman on stage said it, it just woke me up. He said, you can either be right or you can be rich. Which one you want? I said, wow, hello. Yeah, maybe I was, too with it in my own head in the furniture business. That's why I failed. I never asked anybody else for help. I never asked anybody for advice. I'm always there just trying to figure out myself. And unfortunately, that's the way most of us are trained since when we're in school. And it's funny, my son's in fourth grade, and sometimes I ask him, so do you need help on the homework? He said, no. I said, well, you want something to drink? No. He said, and I said, okay, are you Mr. No today? When kids, they start building their ego at that age, okay? Maybe 9, 10, 11 years old, after their brain waves go from alpha to beta, right? Like an adult. So I say, Mr. No, hey, the easiest shortcut, I tell them the smartest people know what they do. They ask questions. So you can either be right or you can be rich. If your business is not where it is, not where you want it to be, well, you can do it your way, or you can do it in a way that people are having success in. I'm serious. So, hopefully, you remember that. Now, going to building the business, because once you make that list, you still have to work it. Okay. So what are the three types of activities? Learn. Okay. Wow book, coaching, make your list, bill, start contacting people, starting with people that trust you. Okay. Uh, yeah, I mean, some of you are still going to be trying to do it on social media and all that. But when you do that, you're only going to build it for somebody else. Okay. Somebody, they might say no now and they'll, oh, I heard of three from such and such a long time ago. And oh, yeah, let me sign up now since I'm ready, more open now. No, instead, it's the best way is through personal contact. Okay. So I know we have quite many influencers and they always ask about, oh, should I put it on social media? Well, if you do that, you advertise for other people. Okay. So instead, if you go underground and you do your own events because you're an influencer, you have credibility by doing your private events and have your team promote you rather than you promoting three, have your team promote you, then you get 100% of your efforts. Okay. So anyway, it's important that as you go through the process of putting people through the pipeline or assembly line, all right, of how to of showing the business, you need to keep putting people in. So what is this assembly line or pipeline? Okay. So first thing in this pipeline or assembly line you need to do with the names is call, talk, connect, and pique their interest. See if they're interested in doing something. Like I say, when I call people I trust, I call my best friend, I say, hey, you know what? I got a new project going on. And you know what? I would like to ask you for some advice. See, if you're interested or give me some referral. Right? So maybe it's something we can do together, or maybe you can give me some referral. Now, folks, that's pretty simple, right? If your family or friend trusts you, are they going to say no? No, probably not. I mean, highly unlikely. Okay. So you do that. So you pique their interest and you connect and you invite them to just, wow, what kind of business is it? Well, what I would say, from a business point of view, which I already said on a Zoom, on a very high level. Okay. You cannot talk about $1 billion business on the phone, like, or a text on a very high level. Just say, hey, you know what? In business, you got to catch the two biggest trend. Right now, health, because especially after COVID, everybody is worried about health. I mean, it's something that if by the time you get on the respirator, no money can help you. Number two, cross-border e-commerce. Yeah, Amazon already do it. When I order something, I get shipped all the way from China to here. I'm like, wow. So Amazon's doing it, but yeah, yeah, aside from stocks I can buy, well, I cannot do that. I don't want inventory. They don't have cutting edge products. So, and then the second thing so I would just send them little snippets of, for example, Dr. Dan in the background, but more I tell the story on the phone before I send them anything. It's important. It's like when you just send people information, it's like, tell me what it is. Well, you know what? There's so much to tell. First, let me send you some information. So I always send, very short, like, how should I say? If you just started and to pique their interest, if their interest level is just beginning low, I will send them little bit of information. If their interest is high, and maybe after I told the story a little bit how three started, and a little bit about Dr. Dan, and people actually a lot of people don't understand what proactive wellness is. So I just I talk about the edge, the cutting edge, the competitive advantage of three in terms of the science. And I introduced Dr. Dan. I sent him just a short video about absorption, right? Because that's something easy to explain. It doesn't matter what you eat, it's about what you can absorb on a cellular level. And then so I send that very short clip about Dr. Dan talking about absorption. So then I just send them a video of one of the events. One of the events. Don't send them too many, just one. Because in business, because people want to know who's involved, how big is this business? Well, what better video than you show, for example, the Anaheim event or the Hong Kong event or the Utah event, because there's all kinds of people there, right? All different kinds of faces, and it shows people very positive. And for example, the Anaheim event, they interview a few people and there's very positive messages. That's all I send if their interest is slow, just beginning. And before I hang up, you know what I do? I make a time to follow up. I say, look, when are you going to look at it? When's a good time to connect again? How about so I sometimes I'm a little bit more proactive. I said, I know you're gonna, maybe take a look at it today. How about I give you a call tonight? So I dictate the time when to follow up, and you can too. Okay, just be a little bit more assertive. Okay, make the appointment before you hang up the phone. So then, if they say okay, they're committed to getting your call. Right now, if they're busy, I understand, but you gotta do it so that if they don't. I mean, it's not like a guilt trip, but if they don't follow up, if they don't pick up the call, it's their fault, right? So I make an appointment to follow up. And the next one in the pipeline is, well, maybe a little bit more information, put them on, and then when on the follow up, I talk to them. I make sure my sponsor upline is available to answer their questions. And when the conversation, well, you know what? Let me see if my business partner is available to talk with you. They know a lot more about the question that you have, and they can probably answer for you. All right. And then I edify my sponsor or leader, such and such. They do very well in the business. They're building an international organization, big, very successful, doing very well, big heart. They know 100% of information. Okay, just hold on. And then I call the sponsor or upline leader to get them on the phone. Many years ago, when I first started in the industry, you know why I failed? I couldn't get it going at all because I did everything myself. Because I thought I know how to talk, but you know what? It's not about that at all. It's psychology. So if instead of you telling them everything, well, if you do that, the business is only big as you, right? If you introduce some of the other people, oh, such and such, oh, they were in the video, such and such, oh, they've been to that, that video, oh yeah, they were there too. Oh, you should get to meet them on the phone, casual, non-threatening way, answer the question, make a time to follow up, or it could be on Zoom, right? And start talking. It's just information. This pipeline, you're sending information, follow up, sending information, follow up, and then when there's more, when there's no more question, let's set up your account as a brand ambassador. Okay, so what username would you like? I didn't even ask him if they want to get started or not. Do you see an opportunity here? Okay, great. What username would you like? I start putting the app in. If they have questions, they will ask you. Okay, so that's the way I do it, and that's kind of like the pipeline. Once they get started, you know what? Wild Book, get them on this next Zoom, so they have more like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for Asia, so that they get more information. Like information is food for them. Okay, and I would try to keep the conversation minimum. I mean, not like very few words. That's not what I mean, but I would not spend too much time gossiping and doing all the other stuff, talk about things that are not related to the business at the beginning. Because the more time you spend, let's say, oh, I'm on the phone 3 hours because we talk about everybody else from high school reunion and all that. You know what happened at the end? I'm like, man, I don't know, but I have 3 hours to connect with people to do this business. It's not duplicatable. That's my point, right? So when you promote the Zooms, the meetings, the workbook, it's a system that they can grab onto and learn, right? Going back to the type of activities, learn, to build, and support others. So when they have questions of how to get started, you know what? You're probably going to point them to this video, how to get started, to the Wild Book, and to the Zooms, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, over and over and over again. Plus, maybe some of your own team Zooms and rallies, etc. So, look, I think to conclude the call, the last thing I would encourage all of you to do is to really build with regular events. Okay. Just like, for example, if you invest some money to open a restaurant, right? And you're the owner, you know what the owner usually do? If it's a small restaurant, they stand at the podium to welcome people in. You laugh, smile, shake their hand, oh, welcome, etc. Right? Or maybe they're in the back, right? But they still come out. Maybe it's a chef that's the owner, and they come out to greet the customers, etc. How do you like the food, and etc. But if you're going to invest a lot of money in, and look, 2,800 as a founder plus, it's nothing compared to opening even just a little store. Okay, so well, what happened is that you want to treat it as a business. You want to make money every day. Okay. The easiest excuse to quit is because, you know what? It's just some products anyway. I got in and you know what? It's not working for me and you're done. If you treat it like a business, like any business, it takes minimum 2 to 3 years to get it going. You know, in traditional business, such as my furniture business, I work pretty much 360 days out of the year. The first 2 years in my first store, I worked like a madman. And I was never home, right? I was just there from 9 in the morning till 8 to 9 at night. Uh, and it took me 2 years doing like that to even get my money back, my investment back in my first furniture store. So in business, that's how it is. That's how traditional business is. So the thing is, treat it as a business. You want to give yourself 2 to 3 years, but you want to get paid every day. I was telling some folks today we had a regular meeting and every Tuesday and Thursday, just a small group, and I'm trying to show them how the business is done or do answer any questions in that type of small meeting, just connecting. um and I tell them, hey, you know what some of the best businesses out there is like supermarket. That cash register, they just sit there and you watch it go ka-ching, 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 right? Keeps ringing, it never stops, right? People always come get their goods and come pay. That's the type of business you need to build. So you do that by starting, because you have to be the one to push the business forward by creating events. By what? Who do I talk to today? Who on my list do I talk to today? I need to make money every day. That's a real business. No matter what, sacrifice 30 minutes to an hour minimum. Or maybe if you're full time, look, I was talking to somebody earlier, and they mentioned, oh, the wife can only work between 9 to 4 p.m. I said, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hey, that is good 7 hours. You know what you can do in 7 hours? You know how many people you can call from the list in 7 hours, set up face-to-face meeting, Zoom or face-to-face at a coffee shop or something? You know how many people you can talk to? You can probably start a group within the first week of maybe 50 to 100 or more. I have done that. I've seen that happen. I work with people who were able to do that. Well, what they were able to do was just invite, and then there's a leader there, a sponsor, that just presentation, 1 hour at a time. So regular event is very important. The number of events and the number of people that you share with determines the speed of your business. You got that? It determines the speed. Like, oh, how come this person got the 3-star and then 3-star, 3-star pro, 3-star elite, and then 4-star? How did they do it? Let me tell you, the only difference between you and them, if you're not there yet, is the number of people, the number of events. So at the beginning, look, 3 right now. Look, I say this, just from my heart, because not everybody's made to work a startup, because it does take a certain type of people. And that's why, there's so many of us trying to get you guys to do what needs to be done to build a startup. Because truly, instead, and I was talking with somebody today, truly, there's so many people in 3, but we're spread so thin everywhere. I mean, look, there are pockets of leaders who have regular meetings every day somewhere, right? But you know what? If we get on a Zoom, they're like the people from probably like 50 people, they might be from 30 different cities. I mean, that's how spread thin we are. So what we need to do, each of us, is create regular office hours. That's why Tuesday and Thursday, for example, in LA, I come out for a couple hours. People bring people, invite, and I do presentations. So far, pretty much 80 to 90% success rate. Some of you are on the call today. But that's how it is. It's just regular event. And the more people, and you got to keep that pipeline, peak interest, invite, send information, showcase, and follow up each time. And then sign up, and then promote the Zoom so they can get on the information, learn it, leverage it to do presentation for themselves. And then next, again, over again. So, you got to fit your people in these different steps, this pipeline, over and over and over again. Some people very fast, some people slower, but you got to keep track of it, okay? So might as well write the name, checkbox, peak interest, checkbox. Invite to look at information, checkbox, right? And then maybe showcase that information, check, right? Oh, one time, low interest, medium interest, high interest, check it off. And depending on, look, for like Monday Zoom, well, the people have to be ready for that, right? The people have to have vested interest to sit down, listen to something, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes or more. So they need to have a high level of interest before you put them on that kind of Zoom. So you got to do your work beforehand to follow up, to send them just the basic information and follow up, follow up, follow up. Right. So same thing. Wellness Wednesday is a very casual, really not business-driven exposure to the science. So for the people who are science and product-driven, yeah, that could be actually, and again, you still have to tell stories of the science and the product, and people have to have a vested interest to sit there for maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes, right? That's why for us as leaders, we know on those Zooms, we got to make sure it's done in a short time. So then on Empowerment Tuesday, well, all of you have vested interest. That's why you're on. And that's why we can talk like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So regular event is how you're going to structure the activities that you will have. If you don't know how to do that, get with your leader or sponsor and get that figured out. Like your sponsor is very busy too, and same thing with your leader. But if you set office hours, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, okay, and you set up maybe at this particular time, maybe 1 or 2 hours, maybe ask your sponsor if they can be open, and you start inviting people, right? And at least do the Zoom or a connection, or maybe face-to-face meeting at a cafe, and plus the regular team events. So all these are very important to create momentum in your business. Okay, so I hope this 45 minutes has helped you to kind of focus on what you need to do. Keep it simple. 3 types of activity: learn, build, support others. Have the right vision, the right story of 3, and how you fit in, why you are here. Why does this vision fit your objective, your why? Okay, you gotta write that down, your story, why you're in 3, what you want out of it. You just remember, like if you're not doing well, remember, you can be right or you can be rich. So let's open our mind and learn from the best of the best, your upline leaders, and because they are pushing the business forward. So learn the process, and once you start doing the process, they will give you feedback to tell you how you can do it better, and that's how you can get better and better and better and better. I mean, the last 3-4 weeks in LA with just a small group of us, I noticed that people's attitude changed, the way they carry themselves changed, the confidence changed. They're more sure of what they do just because they heard it more times. So make your list, fill that pipeline. You got to work it. Okay, you got to spend the time to doing it. If you have fear of talking to people, get over it with your upline. Just talk it out. Let them share with you give you some advice how to do that. And then put people through a pipeline, event, and then start over again. Fill the pipeline, event. So hope that this time that we spent together was very productive for all of you. I hope you take a lot of notes. This will be posted online, so you can go back, watch it minute by minute to take notes again. So thank you very much, folks. It's been my pleasure sharing some hopefully insightful information for you today. I will see you at the next big event, I would say, right? So there's a lot of things coming down the pipeline. I'm very excited for all of you. So thank you. God bless all of you. Talk to you soon. Thank you.